Shalom, family. This is another message of daily edification brought to you through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahushai. Peace and power to the throne of King David. Peace and power to the Father of lights, Yahweh and his beloved Son. And peace and blessings to you out there, northern and southern kingdom. And to you out there listening and learning and edifying. Current events are very important, all right? Current events are very important. They're essential, all right, because we're called to be watchmen. We're called to be watchmen in this wicked world that we live in. This is how the Most High speaks to us. All right. This is why I'm always on. I'm not watching Fox News or CNN because they lie. You can't trust nothing they say. All right. They're there for the establishment. They're not going to tell you the truth. You get the truth on TikTok. That's where you get the truth at. Because see, what happens is outside of this country, they give you the real news that America's not going to let you see. That's why they hate TikTok. So what they've done to hide the truth is they've engineered these AIs, right? They've engineered these AIs to make full-on fucking clips, man, that are fucking fake to get you thrown off the truth. Oh, big monkey face, big-eared ass Barack Obama signed that into law years ago. It's called satire. Satire is when you are able to report fake news. That's what Trump is always saying, that fake news, fake news. See, he knows a lot of this shit that you hear is not legit, and but a lot of it on TikTok, it is legit if you could decipher between AI and what's authentic, you know. Like I just saw a video the other day that a submarine creeping in the water and all of a sudden it sprouts out the water with jets on it and flies away. You know that's the AI. Shit look real though. But you know ain't no sub doing that, all right? That takes away from the whole point. A sub is supposed to go in the water, all right? But it was just the fact that this is how far they'll go to lie, you know? Now I want to show y'all something. This video right here, when I say that there's not many stages left, all right? It's really not, man. There's two things left. I'm gonna let this Iranian cat break it down. Y'all listen good. Check it out.
The attack is now on the United States to bring down the United States as the ruling state in the world. But in the process of bringing it down, the United States have some very important work to do for Israel. I can identify tonight two very important things that the United States has to do for Israel. There are many more, but there's no need to do more than simply two. In order for Israel to succeed the United States as a ruling state in the world, not only must the U.S. economy collapse and the U.S. dollar collapse, and when the U.S. dollar collapses, it brings down the whole world of paper money with it. And if you don't believe me, just wait. Just wait. Not only must the United States collapse its economy and its money, but in addition, Israel has to wage a big war, which even non-Muslim political analysts are now anticipating. A big war. Even Jews now within Israel, I'm getting emails, even Jews within Israel, Jewish academics who are up in opposition to the Sharon government, they are now understanding that there's something big about to happen. And they're warning the world about it. Of course, it's too late now. Israel has to wage this big war, which is already planned long ago. And the territory of the state of Israel will dramatically expand. And the Palestinian problem will be solved because they'll be exported out. That is the massive human rights crime that the Israeli academics are now anticipating and warning the world about. But in addition, in order for Israel to become the ruling state in the world, not only must she take control of all of this territory, she must also control the oil.
All right, so
look, man, y'all better wait.
Let me explain what he's saying. All right. Do y'all remember years ago I told y'all about the Title 50? Remember I did the bomb? I think I did 5 videos on it explaining everything. And I told you about the Universal Commercial Code. Remember that? And I said that every nation on earth is connected to the United States through the Universal Commercial Code if they wanted to be attached to the American dollar, right? Remember that? Well, he just proved it. See, he said that the United States must be dethroned as the world superpower, and once it does that, every nation is going to fall. That's what he said. Now, what's going to happen is that's going to push Israel ahead as the new world superpower. Okay? And they're going to expand their territory. Remember 2 years ago I told y'all that Israel's lease was up on the land. All right? It was only good for, I think, was it 80 years, something like that. And that was through the Balfour Declaration from the Rothschilds. They gave them that land, which is the land that the Northern Kingdom used to occupy back in the times of King David and the times of the judges and all of that. That's the land that the Northern Kingdom used to occupy. Issachar, Zebulun, Naphtali, Reuben, Gad, all of those, that's where their land was. But because nobody occupied it since the time they got exiled, that land was open. The Rothschilds, because they are the top bankers in the world, had that land, they signed it over to these fake ass Jews, and then they resided there and pretended to be us. They pretended to be Israelites. And they set up a mock city, all right? They set up the city of David, which was not in no fucking Northern Kingdom. The city of David was in Jerusalem, in the Southern Kingdom, but they can't have that. I already explained that a couple of videos back. The Most High didn't let them have the Southern Kingdom because we were never divorced from the Most High. So he let the Palestinians hold on to it because even though they're not the chosen seed, they are the seed of Abraham. Now, these fucking rats, they're not children of Abraham. They're the seed of Satan through Esau. Okay? Now, that lease for 70 years or whatever, how long it was from 1948, 70 years, all right? Once that lease was up, by law, they cannot, occupy that land again. And they can't occupy it, and they can't use the same name. See, Israel is a corporation. They're not the real children of Israel. It's a corporation. And what happened is they registered that name Israel to make the world believe that they were us. But now they have to get the fuck off. That's why they got evicted. All right? And they, by law, they can't register that land under that same name. So let's just say if they registered the name under something else, I don't know, Babylon or some shit, then the world is going to be like, wait a minute, we thought y'all was God's people. How is the name changing now? Then the whole world will know. This is why they fucking with Palestine, to push them farther back so that they could get another border for another 70 or 80 years. This is how chicken shit they are. They don't have an inheritance. This is why I explained to y'all in the last couple of videos about the Horites and how they were cave dwellers. The Most High didn't issue them any land. That's why they got to go around and take everybody else's. That's why they call them colonizers. They are not welcome anywhere on this planet. So now what they're doing, because their lease is up, they got to get off that land. That's why they're getting evicted. And what are they doing? Pushing farther into the Middle East, pushing the Palestinians back and exterminating them so they can get another border where they can live. That's what's happening. Now, what the next move is, all right, Israel is the pimp to the United States. Now, you would think it's the other way around, but it's really not. The United States sends billions of dollars to Israel every year. You know why? Hush money. They know that they're not the real Jews. And they know, all right, that America holds the Most High's crown jewels in their possession, which is us. They know that. And this is how America got so rich. They got rich through slavery, slave labor. They got rich through that. They got rich because we built this country up for them for free. 100% labor, no cost, just materials. That's how the United States got to be the wealthiest nation on earth. Now, once they did that and secured the petrodollar back in the 70s with the Saudis, it was a wrap after that. But now that that's done, all right, you have no idea how greedy these people are. These people are raw, uncut evil. There's nothing good in them. All these senators like Elizabeth Warren, all these politicians, they fucking evil, man. They are more wicked than you can imagine. They all part of this thing called the Bohemian Grove. If you ever look it up, it's where all the presidents go, Congress, senators, all of them have to go through that. And what happens is when they go to Bohemian Grove, part of their rituals, all right, one of it's called the cremation of care, where they tell they deepest, darkest secrets. They make them do shit like, I mean, hey man, this is what I heard. They make them do shit like, they made George Bush lay in a casket and jack off, and they filming it, and they do that, and then he tell his deepest, darkest secrets, and they get it on tape so that if he ever think of going off, they'll let the world see that and embarrass him. See, they shame you into doing it. This is what Israel been doing to the United States. They said, if y'all don't give us money and all this, all right, then we're going to tell the world who you really got and what you did to them. So the United States don't want that. Now, it's not like the whole world doesn't know, but if it's put out there and made official, it'll be big problems for the United States. Furthermore, I don't know if y'all know this, but I think it's either 95%, maybe one or two don't fall under this category. But the senators, the congressmen, all right, all of them, guess what? They have dual citizenship with Israel. They're Israelis, all of them. A lot of these actors, Lisa Kudrow, Rachel, whatever her name is, the one that used to be on our TV show Friends, all of these actors, man, a lot of them are Israelis. And they're over here and they got a foothold in the United States. All right? That big bowl head, that this white man, I don't know how the fuck they even sit in the room with him. He looked like a turtle with no shell. Clive Davis. All right? A fucking pervert, man. He's a big wheel in the music industry. And not just him, Jimmy Iovine from Interscope. All right? All of them, man. The ones that Diddy and them lined up with, they fucking perverts, man. In order to get in line with them and make the big money, you got to go behind the doors and let them fuck your ass and let them suck your dick and all that shit and sign a blood oath, all right? And that's how they hold you down. This is what the scripture says. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? This is what you got to do in order to be down with them, and these niggas did it. Well, man, I'm hungry, man. I grew up poor. Man, I got to make it out of here. I ain't making it out like that. Yeah, I'd have picked up trash till I was 95. I don't give a fuck doing no bullshit like that. But that's what they do. See, these are children of Satan. Now, back to the United States. If you take a real good look at Congress, right? If you look at that room, it's shaped funny. You know why? If you look at it from the top, It's in the shape of a menorah. That's why the room is round. Yeah, it's the shape of a menorah. They're letting you know that Congress are the Khazars, and they actually are the ones that run America. That's why the laws is fucked up. That's why they're able to pass these laws like, you know, anti-Semitism and all that. That's how they're able to get it through. Because all of these goddamn senators and congressmen are fucking kike-ass motherfuckers. That's how they get away with it. Now, this is how they punk in the United States right now. All right? Y'all gonna give us money, and you're gonna fight our war. And if you don't, we got something for you. And Israel has nuclear weapons. But see, here's the thing. The Most High always got a ram in the bush. Iran, let me tell you about Iran. Those are the Persians of the ancient world. Very rich history. They're different. They're Muslims, but they're different from, say, Iraqis and Afghanistan. And the reason that they're different is because those are Arabs, Ishmaelites. And what did the Bible say about Ishmaelites? He said that his hand will be against every man and every man's hand will be against him. He's a wild man. All right? So they're wild. But Iran doesn't fall under that category. Iran comes from the line of Shem, the same line that we do. All right? And because they come from the line of Shem, they're different than Arabs. That's why they're so organized. That's why they're so smart and they're intelligent. Right? These Arabs, they just wild. Running around and fucking goats and shit. They do all that. Iranians, they're not like that. That's why when you read the book of Esther, even when we were in captivity to them, okay? When we were in captivity to Persia, they treated us, you know, with a measure of respect. They treated us like indentured servants, okay? This is how Esther became a queen. The only Israelite queen ever. Because she was so refined and so regal, all right, that she outshined all of the Persian women. And what's his name? Ahasuerus, the king, he had to have her. He got rid of Vashti, which was, she was rebellious and pushing back. He got rid of her and put Esther up there. And Esther saved the whole Israel community in there from being persecuted because they had a wicked man whose name escapes me. It wasn't Mordecai. That was her uncle. I forgot his name, but he was getting ready to get the Israelites, you know, he was getting ready to get them in trouble with the king. So Esther had inside information that she wanted to tell the king about. Only drawback was the king had a rule. If he didn't call you and you came, it better be worth his while or he was going to execute you. So Esther was like, if I perish, I perish. She prayed. She told the nation of Israel to go on a 3-day fast. And then on that 3rd day, she went in there and he heard her out. And he deaded all of that shit, man. All right. So Iran has always had a pretty cool relationship with us. Even under the time of Babylon, when Nebuchadnezzar died, his son, I believe his name is Belshazzar, took over. And Persia rode in there, ransacked them overnight, took us out of there, took all the gold, silver, and everything. All right? And then during the time of Nehemiah, when our captivity was over, Darius the Mede turned over all of our gold, silver, everything, and said, now go rebuild your temple. But they ran into trouble with an Ammonite and a Moabite, Sanballat and Tobias, but that's another story. But what I'm saying is, all right, Iran has always had, like, they've never really had no beef with us, okay? And they know we're over here, too. They know who we are. And if you look at it, if you read Psalms, 83, they're not listed among the nations that had anything to do with our slavery. Neither are the Russians. Gog and Magog are not listed in there, and neither is Persia. There's Moab, Ishmael, Ammon, all of them, they had a hand in our slavery. So, What's happening now is Trump, all right, is I don't believe he's being manipulated by Israel. I just don't. See, Trump has a position here. Now, y'all, I'm not going back into it. Y'all already know what I told you Trump is and who he is and what he's doing, right? Well, I don't believe everything is what it seems. Because, see, what'll happen is, once this is pushed forward, once America is put on the chopping blocks and whacked, and the American dollar is dethroned, every country in the world, except for Iran, is going to go bankrupt. All right? And then that would put Israel on top to be the world's superpower, right? But look, they're going to go down too. The Most High not having that. He's not. Because what did he say in Psalm 74, 70, 75, 6 and 7? He taketh down one nation and putteth up another. It's our time to rise. It can't be no two Israels in the earth. Now the fake Israel is getting put down right now. So what you think finna happen next? We're gonna rise. See? It's all right there, y'all. That's why you gotta keep up with these current events and stay on them and stay in the scriptures. Now the Most High did exactly what he said he was gonna do, right? Ain't we been out here grinding, working, studying, fellowshipping, right? Going to work, dealing with the bullshit from day to day, right? Praying to the Most High, asking him how long? Well, look what he's done, man. Damascus, gone. Gaza, gone. Escalating, gone. All right? Tel Aviv, gone. These fucking rats then got thrown out of their country. All right? And now they're looking for another place to stay. Do you really think the Most High finna let that go down? No. No. Look at America, man. America is done. All right? Done. So, that being said, knowing that America's done, all right, who's coming up next? What did the scripture say? It said Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the world to come, right? All right, granted. Now, through our study a couple of videos ago, right? Who did I tell you Esau was? I said Esau is Edom, right? So who is Edom? Edom is the offspring. Edom is the offspring of Esau. That's this fucking white man. So when this white man goes down, we have to rise. All right? We have to rise. And that's where we are now. Video I was trying to show y'all. Yeah. So everything that's going on now is for a reason. But the Most High done a lot of the heavy lifting within the last couple of weeks. All right. And the state of Israel right now, they shitting their pants, because if they don't get this under control, they know what's getting ready to happen. Now, Iran is not letting up on them. All right. Let me
But in the process of bringing it down, the United States have some very important work to do.
Okay, I showed y'all that one already.
We have major news right now. Cities across the United States of America are now on high alert following the strikes. We have major news right now. Cities across the United States of America are now on high alert following the strikes in Iran. Washington, D.C., New York City, and Los Angeles are just three of the main cities now on high alert, where authorities are being sent to religious institutions and other areas to ensure if any threat emerges, people are safe. Now, there is no viable threat just yet, but these cities are on high alert. This is pretty standard following a major incident like what we saw in Iran today. Meanwhile, we are still waiting for Iran's possible response to these strikes, and members of Congress are demanding answers. They're demanding answers as to how these strikes happen, why Democrats were not notified. I know I've been providing you guys with live coverage throughout the night. I may try to get some rest and then wake up in the morning to give you more updates. So if you want to support my work, please consider subscribing to my Substack at the link in my bio.
Let me tell y'all what they found down here.
3,000 milligrams per serving.
Right off of Figueroa Street here in Los Angeles, also known as the Ho Stroll. That's where the prostitutes be at. Right off of 46 and Figueroa. You know what they found under somebody's house? An Iranian bomb, like a missile. They sealed off the whole area. So what's really going on, right? It made the news too. Made the news. And they got video, man. The LAPD's out over there, man, scouring the area. So Iran already said that there was going to be some blowback from what they did, okay, what Trump did. So he said America got to feel it too. So who knows what that means, all right? But we do know that he bombed Iran. That's an act of war. And because he bombed Iran, that brought the United States into conflict with Iran along with Israel. So now America is in the soup, right? So things are going to be getting underway any day now. We don't know when. But they said prepare, because the whole world is going to see what happens when you fuck with them. That's what they said, basically, in so many words. So this is why can't sleep, can't rest, as far as, you know, not being alert. You gotta be on point. Now I want y'all to think about something. Y'all think about 2018, 2019. Was any of this going on? No, it wasn't. But look where we at now in about 7 short years. Look where we are. Look how much has changed. This world is unrecognizable from when a lot of y'all came on here on this channel and is part of this house. So progress is being made in big steps. All right? Don't think that this shit ain't gonna go down, because it is. Only problem is right now, ain't none of this happen here. The only thing we got going on here is poverty and stuff like that, which we've had, but not to this degree, not to this level. Poverty is off the charts right now. People can't even afford to live, man. They can't afford to buy food, water, or pay for the basic needs of their family now. They said they were going to wipe out the middle class, and they did. I never knew how they do it, because I was middle class for a long time. But they did it by raising the prices to everything to where even the middle and the lower class couldn't afford it. You know, years ago, shit, back in, say, 2010, I made enough money to, you know, rent an apartment for about $1,100 a month, $1,200 a month, or buy a house and end up paying $1,700 a month. That ain't the case now. Even where I live out here in Lancaster, we got a house for about 200. It was gonna be 200 grand. We got some upgrades to the kitchen and all that, came out to about 230 grand. You know how much a house is starting out here now? It's $500,000 and up, $600,000. All right. So now the average person cannot buy a house. You gotta have 2 people making about $100,000 or above to even qualify to get one of these houses, man. It's ridiculous. Apartments, when we moved out here, the apartments was about $550 to $600 for a 1-bedroom, $850 to $900 for a 2-bedroom. Want to know what they are now? $1,800 for a 1-bedroom and $2,200 for a 2-bedroom. 3-bedroom, $2,500. Who got that kind of money? But that's how they did it. All right. So things are moving, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video right now. All right. Y'all stay tuned for the next one. All right. Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All praise is due to the Most High, the beloved Son. I'll see y'all on the next video. This is your King and Shepherd KD, and I'm out. Shalom.